Hello to everyone and welcome to another video of Pooi, the prototype-based object-oriented interpreter. This video is devoted to inheritance by delegation. This kind of inheritance contrasts to the kind of inheritance we can find in the class-based model. In a class-based model, inheritance is implemented by concatenation. Its object is the result of the concatenation of the parent objects altogether, the attributes of all parent objects. In inheritance by delegation, inheritance is represented by a special attribute which in Pooi is called parent. We can, for example, list account, and here we have the parent attribute. Also here we could change the parent attribute for the account object. At this time, the parent attribute of account is the root of inheritance, which is called just object with uppercase all. This object this is long to show. Okay, this object has all the methods that any other object is expected to have in Pooi. For example, any other object is expected to be copied. So the copy method is in the object, in the root of inheritance, so it can be reached from any other object. For example, account can be copied because it inherits from object. So when we copy account, we create another new object. We are just calling copy here. Copy is not a method that pertains to account, so the parent attribute is follow, or better speaking, this object account delegates the satisfaction of the method copy to its parent object, and its parent object has the copy method. So the copy method, which resides here, is executed with self pointing to account. Okay, let's remove this object. We are going to work with inheritance in depth now. We are going to create another object, another empty object here. We are going to create the savings account. Right now, the savings account object is a plain object, empty object, which only has the parent attribute. Here's the inspector with the parent attribute and nothing here. Or even savings account list, which accomplishes the same thing. In this case, we want savings account to point to account. So here we choose account, and we can see as the diagram has changed to reflect the new situation. We have a savings account which inherits from account, which in turn itself inherits from object. Savings account is a special kind of account. In this account you can only deposit money, but you cannot withdraw. Alright, so when the deposit method is called, when the deposit message is received in savings account should execute its own deposit method, because the deposit method in parent, when the method withdraw is called, when the withdraw message is received in savings account should execute its own withdraw method, because in this case we don't want any money to be withdrawn from this account. So we're going to create these methods are methods from the parent object. We're going to create a new method, withdraw, accepting X and doing nothing. Alright, close. So when savings account receives the withdraw message, the withdraw method in savings account is executed and nothing is carried out, because we want all this money to be untouched in this account. When the deposit method is called, when the deposit message is received, savings account doesn't have any method being able to satisfy this message. So savings account delegates the execution of deposit in its parent, and its parent indeed has the deposit method, which is going to be executed with self pointing to savings account. Although this method is not here, it can be executed without a problem in this object. This kind of inheritance wouldn't work without a feature which is called copy on write. In deposit, we are going to modify the balance of the account, of the savings account, not the account object, the balance of the savings account. This class doesn't have a balance attribute, but we could access it, for example, doing savings account balance. Okay, the result is 0, because the satisfaction of the balance message is delegated in the account object, and the value for balance in the account object is 0. If we try to modify the balance in savings account, then, for example, 500, then a copy of the attribute balance is done in savings account. Without this feature, without copy and write, inheritance by delegation wouldn't be able to work and be actually useful in real cases. So let's erase this attribute here. So the savings account object is as we left it in the previous step. So when the deposit message is received in savings account, is going to be delegated to account. The deposit method is going to write in the balance attribute, but because of self pointing to savings account and because of the feature copy and write, a new attribute balance is going to be created in savings account. So let's create an instance of savings account, and let's call, okay, here's the withdraw method, which is the own method in Ax2, and the deposit method, which is the method in the parent object. So if we execute withdraw with, for example, 250, nothing happens, because the method doesn't do anything. If we try to execute deposit here, which belongs to the parent object, let's say that we do a deposit of 500, then the balance is copied from the parent object, and now Act 2 has its own balance. So this is the way that inheritance by delegation works, and the way that this imported feature, copy on write, works. Take into account that this kind of inheritance makes the runtime to crawl all over the objects in order to find the correct method to execute for each message. This makes it not very performant, because the efficiency is reduced to how up the runtime has to go in order to find the method to execute. In this case, for example, in Act 2, we have withdraw, which is found immediately. We have deposit, which is found one level above, and we have, for example, copy, which is found 2 levels above. This model is not very efficient, but is very flexible. We could modify the parent object, we could add or delete attributes, add or delete methods. The dynamicity aspect of this model is its main characteristic. Alright, that's all. Thanks for watching again. See you soon.